The single most best way to get sleep is to watch comics. Sleep resets your ability to be focused, alert, and be emotionally stable in the wakeful period. Wakefulness and sleep are the two sides of a seesaw. What you do in the period of wakefulness impacts your sleep period. The quality of a sleep depends on three forces. First force is a chemical force called adenosine. Adenosine is a molecule in the nervous system that builds up when we are awake. The more you are up, the more adenosine you produce, the more sleepy you feel. The reason you stay awake when you consume caffeine is that the caffeine blocks the path of the adenosine. It doesn't stop the production of adenosine but blocks the path of adenosine. Now, due to this, the adenosine keeps building up, and at one point of time, when caffeine wears out, a huge amount of adenosine is passed through. This is called the caffeine crash. Note, it's not the same for everyone. For some people, caffeine works, for some, it does not. Depends on how much adenosine is produced. It's up to you to decide if caffeine is bad or not. You can try the experiment where you stay awake 4 more hours than your usual bedtime. You start feeling more sleepy. However, if you ever pull the all-nighter, you'll notice something interesting. As it becomes morning, you start feeling more energized and more alert. Again, even though adenosine has been building up overnight, this is because of the second force called circadian force. Circadian means about a day or about 24 hours. In every human being, there exists a clock. It determines when you want to be awake and when you want to be sleepy. So most people usually wake up at sunrise. Now the body knows it's time to make the muscles tense and be more alert. Now it starts producing impulse of cortisol, which is responsible for making you feel alert, and melatonin, which is responsible for sleepiness, starts producing later. The reason you get depression is that you're not triggering the cortisol earlier in the day. This is done by getting sunlight into your eyes as soon as you wake up. This light goes through your eyes and triggers the circadian cycle, and the circadian cycle triggers other cycles in your body. So as soon as you wake up, try getting sunlight in. If you can't, get other artificial lights which simulate the sunlight, like the ring lights they use for selfies. Those have a lot of blue light. You might think you're a night owl, but half of you are not. You're just not getting enough sunlight throughout the day. No, even the light during sunset is important. It starts indicating that it's a sunset, and in few hours the body will go to sleep. It doesn't trigger when it touches your skin, only through your eyes. The time period from 11 pm to 4 am is where you keep your blue light consumption to the minimum. In fact, try lighting candles and lamps at this point of time if possible. If you want to wake up earlier, there's a trick. If you want to wake up at a certain time, make sure you get light before 1 hour or 45 minutes before that time. Even though your eyelids are closed, it's going to penetrate and activate that neuron. This practice also makes you want to go to bed early. It's also the opposite. If you want to sleep earlier, shut down all the lights 1 hour or 45 minutes before. If you feel groggy after a nap, then you're probably not sleeping right at night. Naps don't disrupt your night sleep, don't worry, but not more than 20 to 30 minutes. Key points to improve your sleep: minimal light exposure at night, blue light filters are necessary, morning sunlight exposure is necessary, use food and exercise to set your clock, try avoiding caffeine after evening.